start? Okay. We're going to hear from the factory farming folks. We're going to start with the times. Please give them a warm welcome.
My name is Justin Logan.
My name is Toby Gregg.
My name is Christopher Cope.
We are the comms group at your company.
Factory farming is the practice of keeping a large amount of animals in a small space. They are fed antibiotics and hormones to make them reach slaughter weight faster, and they rarely see the light of day. This practice was first utilized in the 1920s, but didn't become prevalent until the 1970s. In the 1970s, America was in an economic crisis, which made the high production rate and low meat cost attractive to the American population. However, today we'll be addressing the negative aspects of factory farming, including antibiotics and hormones, superbugs, and activists.
Factory farming has dominated food production in the U.S. with an estimate of over 20,000 factory farms nationwide. This is a 30% increase from the estimate given in 2003 by the EPA. Factory farming began on a small farm in Pennsylvania where an unnamed woman received over delivery of 450 chickens to her farm. Instead of returning them, she raised them all and began a new industry. As this industry grew, large corporations got involved into the agricultural world. Due to these new changes, a local grocery store chain is considering whether or not to restrict the fruits, vegetables, and meats that they sell to only locally grown organic products. The board of the company wants a report on both perspectives before making a decision. This demonstration of the pros will allow them to have information on all perspectives before making a decision. Factory farming has positively impacted society due to an increase in job opportunities, lower cost in food, and a larger food production.
A big concern with factory farming is biomagnification, which, as you can see in the graph, is a principle that toxins low in the food chain travel in higher concentrations up the food chain. And a study in Malaysia showed that when DDT, a pesticide, was sprayed to kill moths, that also killed the wasps that ate them. And this pertains to factory farming because the antibiotics and hormones that are fed to the animals in factory farms can travel up to us, the consumers, and that can cause incredible harm, though no studies have been shown.
Approximately 99% of animal products consumed in the United States come from factory farms. To keep these farms running, workers are needed to perform various jobs each day. Industrialized farming employs over 700,000 workers just in the United States. Due to advancements in technology, maintenance duties such as administering food and water are done by automated machinery. Fortunately, more jobs have been created since workers are needed to run these machines. While some workers run machines, other workers are needed to perform a variety of critical tasks. Work on factory farms varies greatly depending on the animal being raised, the phase of production, and the employee's job title. For example, responsibilities may include monitoring food and water systems or identifying and treating sick or injured animals. The new chain of grocery stores must realize the amount of jobs provided by industrialized farming. Over 22 million workers in the United States are employed in farm or farm-related jobs, including processing and marketing. The new chain of grocery stores will benefit greatly from the amount of job opportunities provided by industrialized farming.
So the thing about these animals in the factory farms that are the animals is they're going to be full of the viruses and bacteria and other parasites to reproduce inside of them. And they're going to have even more of them since they're in a factory farm, so they're mostly together and viruses can spread around easily. As a measure to try to compensate for this, people running factory farms pretty much give all of their animals antibiotics on a regular basis, regardless of whether or not those animals appear to be sick. But there's a big problem that can happen when they do this, because as the viruses inside of these things, they're constantly reproducing, and it only takes for one virus to have a mutation that makes it not affected by antibiotics. And then that virus and its genes will dominate its gene pool because it can survive and reproduce better. And eventually, if this happens, phenomena will create a strain of it could create a strain of what is known as antibiotic-resistant parasites, which are virtually unaffected by these antibiotics. These antibiotic-resistant parasite drugs are called superbugs, and they're already a known problem in humans now that they've started adding more and more antibiotics to animals. they could begin evolving in animals as well, and that makes a problem with supervised even rates.
In 1950, the average cow pond produced 665 gallons of milk every year. But now with the technology of factory farming, the average cow in the factory farm today produces over 2,300 gallons of milk every year. That's enough to provide over 50 people with the yearly intake of milk from just one cow alone. Unlike small local farms, factory farms are able to produce high amounts of food in public and easy markets. Today, factory farms account for 78% of cows and 99.9% of chickens in the United States. With the use of small amounts of antibiotics, animals in factory farms can grow more and produce more to allow them to provide more people in their communities. The use of antibiotics also allows the animal products to be available daily. When you treat a grocery store and use a lot of factory farms are able to produce more food quicker and more efficiently than a small local farm.
It's no surprise that people will argue over what they believe is right or wrong in their point of opinion. When it comes to factory farming, the majority of people believe there's something ethically wrong. The majority of people see either videos or pictures of what happens inside of these factory farms. They're immediately disgusted and disturbed by what they see. For example, at an International Green Week Food and Agriculture Fair in Berlin on January 11, 2011, there were 22,000 protesters who fought against factory farming and the use of unnatural growth hormones to improve profit from the animals that they were raising. Many associations such as PETA and People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals and the Humane Society of the United States are fighting tooth and nail to increase these rights for these animals inside of this factory. In a famous quote by singer Paul McCartney, "Slaughterhouses have glass walls. We'd all be vegetarian."
The number of people fed by one U.S. farmer has increased greatly between 1940 and 2016. The amount of concentrated animal feeding operations has grown due to profits from markets. As the rate of production increases for these products, prices are able to be lowered. As prices fall, a wider range of social classes are able to afford these products. In the past 40 years, animal products prices have been lowered by $1 per pound. This allows grocers to have a wider variety of customers and a higher profit margin. Not only have the retail prices decreased, but the wholesale prices as well. This gives the grocery a more diverse selection of pork, dairy, and poultry products. The grocer should take in these should consider these changes for their products and consumers.
New grocery stores and other assorted stores throughout the country are now popping up, and the debate has come up whether they should use organic or factory farm products. We as a group believe they should use organic products.
If they use factory farmed products, first off, they're using the meat that could contain hormones, as you said. People don't know what effects these hormones have on people, and also they're basically funding factory farms to exist, where they can allow superbugs to evolve, and also it probably wouldn't be too good a move by this food chain anyways, because the protesters probably wouldn't want to buy the food after that, so it wouldn't be a nice move for them financially. And so even though with the increasing population of the U.S. and the rest of the world, it might force us to go into factory farming eventually, we should probably try to stick to with traditional farming for as long as we can until someone can address the issues with factory farming and maybe more factory farming that wouldn't have these problems.
As the new grocery store chain decides whether or not to reduce the fruits, vegetables, and meats that they sell to only locally grown organic products, they must take in and consider the positive side of factory farming to make a reasonable decision. The new grocery store chain can benefit greatly from the profit and quality of their products.
To increase job opportunity, larger food production, and lower costs to industrialized farming is great for companies' profit. Factory farming is one of the United States' biggest sources of income, and without it, costs would burn our everyday life. If factory farming were to be banned, would increase food production costs towards jobs, food, and wealth.
It has caused many large companies to become more involved in the agricultural world. As these companies become more involved, they are able to create new advances in farming. Overall, factory farming has added a modern twist on the agriculture.
Questions for either side? Got one here.
Before doing this, before doing the research, do you guys know what factory farming is?
I did, so because, where we live in a very rural county, so I didn't know what factory farming was, but.
I had sort of an idea of what it was, but now after I've done the research, I have a better understanding.
I had a slight idea of what it was like inside of the farms, but after researching what I did, it's definitely a lot worse than what I presumed.
Yes, I didn't quite know the extent of how bad it was. I had an idea, but I learned more through researching it.
And you pretty much knew it was a thing, and thanks to animals were constantly being shoved together in safe spaces indoors, but you didn't really know it was called factory farming. It basically called it factory farming before that. But I know it's called factory farming.
Any other questions? Yes, Ms. Otten?
Based on your research, and this is for all of you, do you have a difference in opinion in terms of kind of the ethicalness of animal factory farming versus crops and plants factory farming?
I feel like growing crops closer together and using genetic modification for that is definitely more okay than it is with animals, because animals feel pain and different emotions like humans do.
So yeah, I have to agree. I do think I don't have a true opinion on factory farming. Pro or con, they both bring very good arguments. But I do think factory farming with plants is less of an ethical issue.
For the con side, now knowing that some of these meats that are produced by factory farms are in your grocery stores and you could possibly be eating them daily, will you look to turn to other sources of food or other kinds of meats that you know don't come from factory farms, or will you continue to eat the ones that you know came from factory farms?
Well, before I did this presentation, I had my family, we were eating organic products and all such, but I'm definitely going to keep more of an eye out for what I'm buying.